The German Chancellor has visited London and met with Britain's Prime Minister, where the two leaders said they were looking forward to a meeting between Ukraine and Russia next week. David Cameron said he would discuss with Angela Merkel how to maintain pressure on Russia over its aggression in Ukraine. Russia has been put under tough economic sanctions over its invasion and annexation of Ukrainian territory, and the British Prime Minister said there was still time for Putin to change course. David Cameron showed Angela Merkel around the National Gallery as he tried to woo the German leader to join his position on EU treaty reform. Cameron is holding a referendum in 2017 on Britain's membership in the EU, and before that he has been pressing for curbs on the EU's welfare payment system.
I want to fix the problems in Britain's relationship with the EU, which the British people can find very frustrating. I'm convinced this can be done. As the Chancellor said when you last stood in this room, where there's a will, there's a way, and that's very much my attitude too. It's about securing what is in the best long-term interests of Britain, and also, I believe, the long-term interests of Europe too.
Cameron has been pressing for tighter controls on the EU's freedom of movement policy and needs Merkel's support to make EU treaty reform happen. As regards freedom of movement, as David says, we have no doubt about freedom of movement being in any way in question, but we also have to look at abuse of that principle. We're looking at the legal, we're looking at legislation here. We want to see how this plays out at a local level. Britain's current stance on EU reform could change dramatically depending on who gets elected to Parliament when the country goes to the polls to elect a new government in May.